We continue our discussion on e-commerce, digital markets, digital goods. So for what's e-commerce? If we take out the E, it's just commerce, buying and selling of goods. The E is the electronic part, so it's buying and selling of goods over the internet or any other electronic means. So sometimes you may even hear of m-commerce, that's mobile commerce, it's still e-commerce. Let's delve now. First of all, why is it even of importance? The graph here shows us the growth of e-commerce over the years from 2014 when data was available. Okay, and the figures are shown in the billions of United States dollars worldwide. It actually goes into a projection because the figures actually, as we have, are up to 2022. But looking at how things are going, we can make projections up to 2026. It just shows that there's no end in sight. It will keep growing, of course, until it becomes the normal. Okay. So again, this just prompts us those who think they don't want to participate in e-commerce, you're probably shooting yourself in the foot, or it's going to be the normal, or in fact, it is the. Now, what are the unique things, or what distinguishes e-commerce from the normal commerce? And I'll just pause here. You may also read and find things like e-business. E-business is the bigger goal. Business is about running of entities, whether they're actually commercial entities, NGOs, schools, hospitals. Once you use electronic means to manage it, you are doing e-business. But a subset of that, which includes the buying and selling, is the e-commerce. Just take note because our interest is in e-commerce for now, but take note in case you see stuff like that. Now, what makes e-commerce different from the usual commerce is these key things: ubiquity, global reach, universal standards, richness, interactivity, information density, and so on. The subsequent slides will go through these one by one, but I'll spend some time here. So the subsequent slides, you can actually just pause and view the details. Now, when something is ubiquitous, it's everywhere you go. So basically, e-commerce is everywhere you go. Of course, you should be connected. Okay, so if you put your shop online, your shop becomes ubiquitous. It's no longer available to just where you are physically located. Okay. Being ubiquitous gives it the advantage. It now gets to the, it becomes available globally. So your shop in Tamale, which is ubiquitous, anybody has it everywhere. You can, anywhere he has connectivity. It also gets the global reach that somebody can sit in Japan, Kenya, South Africa, Brazil, anywhere, and should be able to have access to your sales, to your goods and services. Of course, it's not everything that can take advantage of that. Imagine a tailor in Tamale advertising his wares. He may still be serving people just within Tamale, but of course, somebody can place an order from the US or anywhere. It is up to them to be able to communicate and their delivery will take place. There is also the universal standards. Of course, these days people abuse this, but you see, it's how do we put it? If you go to the market to buy gari and somebody says a bowl of gari, question is, what exactly is a bowl of gari? The bowl in Damango market for gari is not the same size as a bowl for beans, for example. Okay, or even within the same good, the same item, a bowl of gari in Damango may be different from a bowl in Tamale. Sometimes the standards change as you move along. Some people will fetch the corn and put a hand to support it before they pour into your bag. But as you go higher and higher up the market, no, they just fetch and pour inside, even with smaller bowls. There are no standards as such. Of course, there are efforts. You have people selling a kilogram. It's still not very universal. But on the internet, the standards are the standards. Okay. The same way you would reach. If it is $1, it is the same $1 everywhere that you buy. No, there's no way of changing stuff. Of course, there is the possibility to customize, which we will come to later, but let's stick to this for now. There is also the richness. Richness here is the content that the item presents. If let's say an item in Melcom you go to buy, toothbrush, for example, you'll only see some small piece of information on it and the price. That's all. But the same toothbrush on e-commerce, you can actually view it from different angles. You can get its weight. You can get videos of how it is used. You can get audio content on it and so on. You wouldn't get that in your traditional market. Interactivity, the part where you can actually talk with the buyer or seller or communicate with the owner and even get other things like we see later on customization. Okay, but at least there is some more interactivity. You take the items one by one and you can ask questions on them if the information is not yet available. You don't get that in a physical store. Yes, in a bigger shop, you can ask some attendant for some information, but that is limited. You can't spend all the questions that you want. Okay. And then the information density, which is very similar to richness. But here there's a lot of information. It's like buying a small item and there is a whole brochure or a manual on it. You don't get that a lot. But on e-commerce, all the information, but there's a lot of information available on the item. Read, take your time, consume it before you go on. You can actually compare to other shops from the seat, from your seat, before you take a decision. Now, e-commerce allows for personalization and customization. These are levels. Personalization could just be that even what you log in, you don't want the pink color, you want the blue color for your interface. That's one thing. You can also talk of personalization or customization in the effect that, okay, I want that when I log in, to show me only a certain group of products. I'm not interested in other ones. Sometimes the user can make those settings. Other times it is actually already inbuilt. So that the moment you log in and you keep searching, it keeps studying your habits and shows you only what it perceives you have an interest in. Okay, that's the level of personalization we talk of. At the same time, you can actually have advantage to even communicate with the manufacturer or the seller to change things slightly for you and give you something different from or slightly different from what's available. There are shoes. They are selling some nice black shoe that you like, but you wear size 45. In Melcom, it's like 45 is not there, but if it's an e-commerce platform, you can actually say, I like this shoe, but I want size 45. And they will either get it for you or manufacture it. Social technology just interact in it. So it's like people going to a supermarket and actually standing there and talking about the products and talking about other things and therefore influencing the choices of others. E-commerce allows, we all know Facebook is now an e-commerce product. You can actually buy items there. Instagram, buying and selling takes place there. TikTok, buying and selling takes place. So there's a social bit of it where others just want to interact and buy items. Okay. To remember this, there's a little acronym I've made for you. RIP, UDSN, UG. UG is University of Ghana. If you remember this, you should be able to remember uh, the things here. The I per the presentations, interactivity and information density, there are two of them. So to separate them, the D goes for density, information density. All right. Pause and read through to get more information on what I've done, what I've said. I may not have gone into details as much as these have, but I intended to give the broad idea of what. Now, what's the effect of internet on the marketplace? First of all, internet has given the opportunity for the reduction in information asymmetry. Information asymmetry. So first of all, symmetry. When something is symmetrical, it means what is on one side is the same as what is on the other side. Imagine you going to buy an item from the market and you know how much the seller got it from the supplier. It increases your bargaining power, and you can reduce the cost of it on your end. Internet has reduced information asymmetry because information asymmetry is basically the opposite of symmetry. We don't know what the other person knows. Internet has reduced that gap, so we know close to what he knows, and because of that, it allows for us to bargain better. Remember, we talked about Porter's forces, and the, the customers have an influence. They can determine the growth for the survival of your business. So now we are talking as we as customers. If we know more of what the supplier knows, we would say information asymmetry has reduced. So because of that, uh, of course, we can buy at cheaper rates, but this has also offered flexibility. Now there's reduced search costs. So the cost of you looking for even the item and its prices has reduced. So your menu here would have been your three invoices, as they would say. The cost of getting that has gone down. There is also now greater price discrimination. Price discrimination now, people can just add different features to the same product and give different prices. Okay. Dynamic pricing, what do we call albarka or promotion. You can actually give different prices at different times and actually automate it to change as and when, or even change based on the location of the person. So somebody could be viewing the same site from America and the price is different from the person viewing it from Ghana. E-commerce allows that through the internet. Okay. So it may also reduce or increase your switching cost. Switching cost is basically somebody is used to a particular brand or a particular product. It gets to a point he wants to switch over. If those competing to take you away from your supplier play their game well, they can make it very easy for you to to switch over. And in that case, it has reduced it. But if the person keeping you puts in the right things to keep you, it becomes very expensive for you to switch. Whatever be the case, the internet plays a role and people can take advantage of that to play around with this. But of course, there's a delayed gratification. You buy an item online, you don't get it immediately. It takes a while before it gets to you. That's a delayed gratification. It's not like you go to the shelf and you buy and that is it. There is also the possibility of an increased market segmentation, which similar to dynamic pricing, but yeah, so you can actually take the same item and sell it to different market segments, middle class, rich class, whatever, and just put small features on it to target a particular class and change the price on it. But of course, also the stronger network effects. So now people are able to recommend to each other, just like the network marketing. It's easier now because of internet to to sell things through networks. There is a greater disintermediation. Disintermediation. So let's break it down. Mediation, basically a middleman selling to another person. When internet comes in, we tend to take away the middleman effect. That's basically what we mean by more disintermediation. So because now, for example, airline, the middlemen would have been the travel and tour agencies. Because internet, we are able to buy directly from the company. That has its pros and cons, but let's just take note that there is more disintermediation. Okay. Like I said previously, I don't want the videos to be that long, so I will. The next slide will continue. This slide basically gives you an idea of how disintermediation works. We will proceed from this in the next video.